Today, we're bringing 12 terrifying legends back to life, eerie tales that still haunt Oklahoma. Number 1. Stikini. In Seminole tradition, whispered stories tell of the Stikini, ordinary people by day, but creatures of horror by night. As dusk settles, they vomit out their hearts, hiding them safely away, and transform into owl-like demons with huge wings and glowing eyes. The Stikini soar silently through the trees, hunting for the most vulnerable prey, sleeping humans, especially children, feeding on their souls under the cloak of darkness. The legend carried a deep sense of fear among Seminole families in Oklahoma. It wasn't just a campfire tale, but a warning. Never wander too far after dark, and always listen for the cry of owls. Many believed that speaking openly of the Stikini could invite their presence, so the story was passed down in whispers, guarded carefully to keep children safe. Hunters and travelers told of sudden flapping in the treetops or glowing eyes peering from the branches, leaving them chilled to the bone. In some versions, those who had been cursed by betrayal or black magic became Stikini, doomed to shed their humanity each night. The only way to defeat one was to find its hidden heart and destroy it before dawn. Today, the Stikini remain one of the most chilling figures in Oklahoma's native folklore. Whether seen as a cautionary tale or a genuine monster of the night, the image of the heartless owl witch lingers in the imagination. The story connects generations, reminding people of the thin line between the natural and the supernatural, where even an owl's cry might signal something far more sinister. Number 2. Bigfoot. Deep in the forests of the Kiamichi Mountains, stories of a massive, hairy creature have circulated for generations. Native Choctaw legends describe a black, man-like giant, released by a witch long ago. Later settlers added to the lore, giving the monster a modern name, Bigfoot. Hunters spoke of giant tracks in the mud, trees broken as if by massive hands, and the sound of deep howls echoing across the valleys. In the 1970s, sightings surged in the small towns of southeastern Oklahoma, where frightened locals called it the Green Hill Monster. Witnesses described an ape-like figure nearly 7 feet tall, with glowing red eyes and an unbearable stench. Some said livestock were torn apart, while others swore they heard heavy footsteps outside their homes late at night. The legend became so strong that Honobia, Oklahoma, now hosts an annual Bigfoot festival where believers and skeptics alike gather to share stories. Researchers have scoured the area for tracks and evidence, but the mystery endures. Many claim the dense forests and hidden valleys make the perfect home for such a creature to remain unseen. For locals, Bigfoot is more than a myth. It's a part of Oklahoma's cultural identity, tying together native folklore, settler fear, and modern mystery. Whether a flesh and blood creature or a shadow of old stories, Bigfoot continues to walk through the imagination of those who call these forests home. Number 3. Aunt Jane. Fort Washita was built in 1842 as a military post to protect settlers and native tribes during a turbulent time on the frontier. But along with its long history of battles and hardship came a ghost story that has never left, the legend of Aunt Jane. Some say she was a woman traveling west. Others insist she was a soldier's wife. But all the tales agree on one thing. She was murdered at the fort under mysterious circumstances. Since then, people claim her spirit has remained among the ruins. Visitors describe seeing a tall woman in a flowing gown carrying a lantern, moving slowly across the grounds as though searching for something she lost. Soldiers stationed there more than a century ago even reported footsteps echoing across the parade ground when no one was in sight, and some heard whispers carried by the wind on quiet nights. Over time, Aunt Jane became the fort's most famous resident ghost. Some describe her as protective, like she is watching over the place she once called home. Others believe she is restless, forever tied to the site where her life was cut short. Those who walk through Fort Washita today often mention sudden cold drafts, the scent of old perfume, or the uneasy feeling of being watched. Today, the fort stands as both a preserved historic site and one of the most haunted places in Oklahoma. The story of Aunt Jane reminds us that behind the stone walls and dusty cannons were real lives and tragedies, and perhaps even today, some spirits remain unwilling to leave. Number 4. Shaman's Portal. In the Oklahoma Panhandle lies Beaver Dunes Park, a windswept stretch of sand often called Oklahoma's Bermuda Triangle. Here, native legends speak of strange disappearances and portals hidden beneath the dunes. Spanish explorers in the 1500s were said to vanish without a trace, swallowed by the earth itself, while later settlers claimed to see glowing lights and feel tremors deep in the sand. The place earned a reputation for swallowing people whole. Local stories link the mystery to native shamans, who were believed to have cursed the land long ago to protect sacred secrets. Ranchers in the 20th century reported watching friends walk into the dunes and never return, leaving behind only scattered tracks. Some researchers even suggested underground energy fields, while others claimed the dunes hid ancient ruins from a lost civilization. The legend grew so strong that Beaver Dunes became a hotspot for paranormal investigators. Visitors told of strange humming sounds beneath the sand, or sudden flashes of green light at night that lit up the desert sky. Metal detectors malfunctioned, and compasses spun wildly as if unseen forces were at work. Whether it's a natural mystery, an old curse, or something otherworldly, the Shaman's Portal remains one of Oklahoma's most chilling legends. The empty beauty of Beaver Dunes carries with it a warning. Here, the earth itself might open up and claim those who dare to wander too far. Number 5. Wampas cat. Among the Cherokee people comes the chilling story of the Wampas cat, a creature born from both punishment and curse. The legend tells of a woman who broke tribal law by spying on a sacred men's ceremony. When caught, she was transformed into a monster, doomed to wander forever as half woman, half panther. Her glowing yellow eyes, sharp claws, and terrifying scream marked her as something no one dared approach. Generations of hunters and travelers across the southern mountains described encounters with this beast. Some said it appeared as a panther walking upright, moving with uncanny speed between the trees. Others swore they only heard it, a piercing scream that froze them in their tracks, echoing across valleys like the cry of both a woman and a wild animal. Families often told children to stay close at night, warning that the Wampas cat hunted the careless. In Oklahoma, the Wampas cat became tied to the deep forests and shadowed rivers near Cherokee settlements. Stories of livestock mutilated without explanation were often blamed on her, and hunters refused to track her through the night. Some versions say she targeted men specifically, a reminder of her punishment, stalking them with a vengeance that never faded. The Wampas cat endures as more than just a frightening tale. It is a lesson woven into folklore. She embodies the danger of breaking sacred traditions, the power of curses, and the mystery of the wilderness. Even today, when the wind howls through the trees in Oklahoma's hills, people recall the stories and wonder if the cry belongs to nothing earthly at all. Number 6. Bobby Creek Crybaby Bridge. Near Shawnee, Oklahoma, sits one of the state's most infamous haunted sites, Crybaby Bridge. According to legend, a woman long ago, overwhelmed by grief or despair, dropped her baby into the waters below. Since then, countless people who have crossed the bridge at night claim to hear the faint, heartbreaking cries of an infant rising from the creek. For decades, local teenagers turned the bridge into a place of dares. They would park their cars in the center, switch off their headlights, and sit in silence. Many swore they heard the sound of a baby wailing in the dark. Some even claimed to find tiny handprints on their car windows afterward, as if something unseen had pressed against the glass. Others told of their vehicles rocking gently, as though nudged by small, invisible hands. The story grew with every generation, blending sorrow with fear. Some claimed to see a woman in white drifting near the bridge's edge, searching endlessly for her lost child. Others believed the cries were not only echoes of tragedy, but warnings, punishing those who mocked the legend or failed to show respect. The mix of grief and mystery made the bridge one of Oklahoma's most retold ghost stories. Whether born from a true event or shaped by imagination, Crybaby Bridge has never lost its hold on the community. Drivers still slow down as they cross, listening for a sound carried on the night air. When the creek runs quiet and the wind is still, some say the wails of that lost child can still be heard, reminders of a sorrow that refuses to be silenced. Number 7. Hornet Spooklight. On a lonely stretch of road near Quapaw, Oklahoma, locals whisper about the Hornet Spooklight, a mysterious glowing orb that has baffled people for more than a century. The light, often described as a flickering ball that dances above the treetops or hovers along the road, first gained attention in the late 1800s. Sometimes it appears as a soft orange glow. Other times it splits into two, darting quickly back and forth before vanishing. Many believe the spooklight is the restless spirit of a Native American couple who died tragically while fleeing pursuit. Others say it is the lantern of a miner searching for his family, lost long ago. Skeptics argue it's car headlights refracting through the hills, but those who have seen it swear it behaves unlike any machine-made light. Witnesses describe it rushing toward their cars, hovering beside them, or suddenly shooting into the woods at impossible speeds. The phenomenon became so famous that in the 1940s, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers investigated. Their conclusion was unsettling. The light source could not be explained. Since then, the road has drawn countless curious travelers, ghost hunters, and scientists alike, all hoping to see the dancing glow with their own eyes. The Hornet spooklight remains one of Oklahoma's greatest mysteries. Whether a trick of the land, a lingering soul, or something from beyond, it continues to appear without warning. On dark nights, drivers who stop along Spooklight Road often wait in silence, scanning the horizon. Number 8. Tulsa Hex House. During the 1940s, a small home in Tulsa became the center of one of Oklahoma's strangest tales, the Hex House. Behind its ordinary walls lived Carol Ann Smith, a woman who practiced bizarre rituals and manipulated others into believing she held dark, supernatural powers. She convinced two women to live in her basement for years, working without pay and surrendering their money under the spell of what they believed was witchcraft. When the story broke in 1944, it shocked the city. Investigators uncovered strange shrines, mysterious candles, and documents describing occult-like practices. The women testified that Smith had terrified them with threats of curses if they disobeyed. Newspapers branded it the Hex House, and for years afterward, the site was considered cursed ground. Even after the house was demolished, locals continued to claim strange activity lingered on the land. Some reported eerie shadows moving across the lot at night, while others swore they felt watched when passing by. Halloween tours in Tulsa often included the story of the Hex House, cementing it as one of the city's darkest legends. The Hex House remains a reminder of how belief and fear can blur into legend. Though no ghost was ever proven to haunt it, the tale of manipulation, ritual, and the power of suggestion gave it a supernatural reputation. Today, it endures as one of Tulsa's most unsettling stories, where truth and folklore became forever intertwined. Number 9. Magnetic Hill. Near Springer, Oklahoma, lies a hill that defies the rules of gravity. Known as Magnetic Hill, this curious spot makes cars appear to roll uphill when placed in neutral. Locals and visitors alike have tested it, watching in amazement as their vehicles creep upward on their own. Children laugh, tourists snap photos, and many leave scratching their heads at the strange illusion. The legend surrounding the hill adds to its mystery. Some say it is caused by powerful magnetic forces beneath the earth, while others tell a darker tale, that the hill is haunted by the ghosts of children who died in a tragic accident. According to the story, their spirits push cars uphill to keep drivers safe from danger, leaving behind small handprints in the dust on bumpers. Scientists explain it as an optical illusion, where the surrounding landscape tricks the eyes into seeing a slope where none exists. But for those who have visited, the explanation doesn't erase the eerie feeling of watching a car drift uphill all by itself. The sense of wonder and the whispers of restless spirits are too strong to ignore. Magnetic Hill remains one of Oklahoma's strangest roadside attractions, blending science and folklore. Whether it's the pull of the earth or the push of ghostly hands, visitors continue to come, eager to experience the impossible. And as their cars roll against gravity, many can't help but wonder if the legends might hold a grain of truth. Number 10. Oklahoma octopus. Oklahoma might seem like the last place you'd expect to see a sea monster, but for decades, stories of the Oklahoma octopus have circulated around its lakes. Swimmers tell of something large and unseen lurking beneath the murky water, pulling people under with sudden force. With drowning reports higher than average in these lakes, the tale of a giant octopus hiding in the depths has only grown stronger. Descriptions vary, but most agree it is a reddish-brown creature with long, powerful tentacles, capable of dragging even full-grown adults beneath the surface. Though no evidence has ever proven such an animal exists in freshwater, locals insist too many accidents and strange ripples can't be explained away. Fishermen have reported seeing shadows in the water far larger than any fish known in the region. Skeptics argue it's a modern legend, born from fear of dangerous waters and exaggerated by campfire tales. But the story has deep roots, with whispers among native tribes about water spirits that lured the careless to their doom. These older beliefs of water creatures and dangerous guardians may have helped shape the modern myth of the Oklahoma octopus. Today, the lakes remain popular, but visitors can't resist sharing the legend. Parents warn children not to swim too far, and teens daring one another laugh nervously at what might be below. Real or not, the Oklahoma octopus has become one of the state's most chilling aquatic mysteries, one that continues to draw both thrill seekers and skeptics to its waters. Number 11. Purple Church. Hidden in the woods near Spencer, Oklahoma, lies the site of a burned-down church that locals call the Purple Church. Though little of it remains, the place has become infamous for dark legends of witchcraft, cult rituals, and ghostly activity. Some claim that satanic groups once gathered there, painting its walls with disturbing symbols, giving the site its eerie nickname. Over the years, people who dared to visit at night reported strange chanting, bonfires that vanished when approached, and the sound of footsteps crunching in the leaves when no one was there. Graffiti, strange markings, and animal bones left behind only added to the site's sinister reputation. The stories spread so widely that even police officers warned locals not to go near the area after dark. Visitors often speak of an oppressive heaviness that settles over the land. Some claim to see ghostly figures darting among the trees or pairs of glowing eyes watching from the shadows. Others whispered of sacrifices, either symbolic or real, that gave the Purple Church its haunting energy. Whether fact or fueled by fear, the legends remain firmly tied to the site. Though little evidence proves the darkest claims, the Purple Church has secured its place as one of Oklahoma's most frightening tales. What was once just an abandoned ruin became a canvas for people's worst fears, a place where the imagination filled in the gaps. Even today, locals pass the story on, warning that the Purple Church is not a place to test bravery lightly. Number 12. Murdoch's Mansion. In Tulsa, the ruins of a once grand estate known as Murdoch's Mansion became a source of ghostly legends. Built by a wealthy doctor in the early 20th century, the mansion was said to hide secrets of greed and cruelty. Rumors spread that the doctor experimented on patients, or that tragedies befell those who lived within its walls, and when the mansion eventually fell into ruin, its ghostly reputation only grew stronger. By the mid-20th century, Thrill seekers and locals wandered the remains, reporting flickering lights in the windows, though the house had no power. Strange whispers echoed through the halls, and shadowy figures were said to appear in doorways before vanishing into thin air. Some even claimed to hear the faint cries of children, though no record proved such a story. Murdoch's mansion became so infamous that stories circulated of cursed ground, where bad luck followed those who removed objects from the site. Fires, accidents, and eerie coincidences were tied back to the mansion, strengthening the belief that something dark lingered there. Paranormal groups visited in search of proof, but the legend only deepened when little could be explained. Though the original structure is long gone, Murdoch's mansion lives on in Oklahoma lore. Locals still whisper about it as one of the most haunted spots in Tulsa's history, a reminder of how quickly tragedy and mystery can entwine. In its ruins, people saw more than stone and timber. They saw shadows of the past that refused to fade. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.